We could view our physical bodies as energetic vessels, brought to life by the spark of our spirit. It is said that we carry within us different levels of existence, from the densest and most tangible to the most ethereal and subtle. When we not only increase the quantity but also the purity of this energy, our connection to the spirit becomes deeper and more exalted. Therefore, maintaining a high level of energy of excellent quality becomes the fundamental pillar for unlocking our maximum potential on our material path. In physics, we learn that energy is the life force that drives all interactions in the cosmos. From subatomic particles to distant galaxies, everything is infused with this dynamic force. But what does this mean for us on a deeper level? It turns out that energy is not just an abstract entity in the universe, it is the essence of our being. In fact, every cell in our body, every thought we have, every emotion we experience is permeated by this energy. Throughout the day, our energy reserves fluctuate. They can rise or fall depending on the experiences and circumstances we encounter. Although we often rely on our ability to multitask, it is important to recognize that our energy is not infinite, at least not on the physical level. When it decreases, we may feel a loss of physical strength, a drop in motivation, and a greater tendency to procrastinate. Low energy levels affect not only our body but also our mental and emotional state. It is interesting to note that there are different levels and types of energy. Some are more connected to the physical plane, others to the mental or spiritual realm. For example, you may have had a physically exhausting day, such as after a long walk through breathtaking natural scenery. Despite your physical fatigue, you might feel inwardly fulfilled and positive. Your physical energy may have decreased, but in contrast, your mental and emotional energy has risen. Conversely, you might feel physically rested, but after spending time in an environment where people do not resonate with your frequency, you may feel mentally and physically drained. Usually, the physical, mental, and spiritual aspects are not isolated, they interact and influence one another. The key lies in our awareness, in recognizing which people, places, and things uplift, enlighten, and energize us, as opposed to those that do the opposite. By identifying these influences, we gain the power to respond accordingly and make choices that benefit our well-being. Within us resides a system of spiritual energy that acts as an intuitive radar, allowing us to sense and understand the world around us. This system warns us of charged atmospheres, dangers, and guides us on our life path. Therefore, it is wise to learn which environments and situations raise or lower our energy levels. Energy is not only present in everything and everyone around us, it also vibrates at a certain frequency. Like a guitar string that produces a specific tone when struck, our energy emits a unique frequency that resonates through our being and spreads through the ether, influencing our surroundings and the people near us. The rate and strength at which our energy moves determine the quality of these vibrations, which are measured in hertz. Vibrations can be high, low, or somewhere in between. I recommend, for those unfamiliar with it, to take a look at David R. Hawkins' map of consciousness. I will leave a link in the description to a video I made on this topic that complements this information well. In that video, we will explore various ways to protect our energy through some simple but powerful practices. We will discover how to raise our vibrational frequency in order to live fully and reach higher levels of consciousness. Both high and low vibrations have their positive and negative aspects. When we are in a state of joy, love, and gratitude, our energy vibrates at a high frequency and, by the law of resonance, attracts similar events into our lives. On the other hand, low vibrations are characterized by feelings of negativity, fear, shame, or sadness. They can be generated by external sources such as toxic environments, negative people, or difficult life circumstances. Furthermore, our own thoughts and emotions can create low vibrations when they are rooted in fear, self-doubt, or limiting beliefs. When your high vibrations come into contact with low ones, whether external or internal, their quality diminishes, like a flame growing weaker as it struggles to survive in the wind. Low vibrations pull you away from the positivity of life. They drain your energy and create a disconnection from your spirit and higher self. If you do not know how to protect your energy from low vibrations, you may fall into a downward spiral, leading to even lower energy levels and making it harder to break free from this cycle of negativity. The situations we expose ourselves to regularly can profoundly affect our inner state and influence our energy. Have you ever noticed how immersing yourself in negative or distressing content pulls you deeper into those feelings? It's as if an invisible force is drawing you in. For example, spending excessive time on social media to keep up with the latest news and world events can create an unconscious attraction to these topics, a kind of emotional masochism. Because of the algorithms used on social media, you are likely to encounter an increasing amount of negative content that keeps you at a low energetic level. In this context, it is important to recognize that there is often an interest among those in power to keep us in a state of low energy and vibration, as this makes it easier to maintain control over us. When our vibrational state is low, it not only affects our mood but, with long-term exposure, can lead to chronic conditions such as anxiety or depression. Low vibrations can disconnect us from our divine essence and inner guidance. When our energy is burdened by negativity, it becomes more difficult to access our inner wisdom. We may feel mentally exhausted, lost, or disconnected from our life purpose, with a sense of inner emptiness. To reach a high level of consciousness and achieve a deep connection with your higher self, it is essential to maintain a high vibrational state. The key to raising your vibrational state begins with protecting your energy and preventing it from being drained by negative vibrations. You have the power to shield yourself from low vibrations and elevate your energetic frequency, even when it feels at its lowest. All it takes is awareness of the sources of low vibrations in your life and the application of strategies to protect yourself from them. You can reclaim your energy, vitality, and inner peace. First, we must take care of our environments. Any environment dominated by conflict, hostility, or negativity emits low vibrations, like a factory producing toxic waste. This includes places where stress, tension, or emotional turmoil are constant. Even more insidious are the low vibrations generated by the media, such as news reports often centered on violence, insecurity, or fear. Likewise, consuming entertainment that glorifies violence, such as certain series, films, or video games, can contribute to lowering our vibrational level. So how can we protect ourselves from such situations or environments? Start by recognizing your own needs and boundaries, and then communicate them clearly to others. This may mean saying no to requests that don't align with your priorities or values, or setting guidelines for how you wish to be treated in relationships. You will need to have honest conversations with loved ones and friends to express your needs and expectations, to show them what behavior is acceptable to you and what crosses the line, and to remain consistent when those boundaries are violated. Similarly, we should establish boundaries concerning news, social media, and entertainment that place us in a negative state. Remember that setting boundaries does not mean being selfish or closed off. It means taking care of yourself so you can give your best in all areas of life. Just as we have physical boundaries to protect our personal space, we also need energetic boundaries. Sometimes, these energetic boundaries must be set not only toward external people or situations but also toward ourselves, especially our own thoughts. What can you do to deal with low vibrations that come from within? Free yourself from recurring negative thoughts by recognizing them when they arise. Gradually develop an awareness of how people's actions cause you to think negatively or how events you experience influence your thoughts, pulling you into a state of lack, worry, or negativity. The best way to do this is through meditation and mindfulness. Through meditation, you can observe how thoughts arise one after another, often uncontrollably and often without meaning. When we are in a negative inner state, the mind produces more negative thoughts. It's like a snowball effect. Pause and find a quiet space to notice these automatic and repetitive thoughts. By not engaging with them, you will see how they gradually lose power. Recognize that these thoughts are not truly yours, you are not consciously creating them, and they serve you in no way. The next step is to maintain this process throughout the day, slowly becoming a mere observer of your thoughts without letting them carry you away. This approach allows you to regain control over your mind instead of being controlled by it. By calming the mind and cultivating awareness of the present moment, we can overcome the fluctuations of the ego and connect with our higher self, which is pure and radiant by nature. Letting go of negative thoughts and emotions through mindfulness allows us to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment, release negativity, and restore balance to our energy field. We live in a world of duality, so focusing on only one aspect, in this case, the mental, would create imbalance. It is also necessary to pay attention to our physical aspect. Exercising, maintaining a balanced diet, drinking enough water, and getting adequate sleep all positively affect our energy levels. The mind influences the body, and likewise, the body influences the mind. Just as we carry emotional burdens that lower our energy and vibration, we also accumulate burdens within our bodies. A very helpful practice we can do is grounding. Just as vitamin D in our body is produced through the energy and frequencies of the sun, which is 150 million kilometers away, the surface of the earth beneath our feet provides energy and frequencies that directly affect us. When you make direct contact with the ground, be it soil, grass, or sand, you allow the earth's natural energy to flow through you, renewing and stabilizing your energy field. By walking barefoot on the earth, you discharge accumulated negative energy, similar to grounding in an electrical system. This practice can help you feel more centered, grounded, and connected to the world around you. Another grounding technique is spending time in nature. Whether you're walking through a forest, sitting by a river, or climbing a mountain, being surrounded by the beauty of nature has a powerful effect on your inner state. Take a moment to breathe in the fresh air, listen to the sound of the birds, and feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. Allow yourself to be fully present in the moment and absorb the healing energy of the natural world. This is one of the best ways to raise your vibration and refresh your energy. Surrounding yourself with positive people who are in harmony with you can also help increase your energy levels. There are people whose mere presence brightens your day and fills you with vitality. Whenever you can, surround yourself with such people, and even better, become one of them yourself. By doing so, you contribute to raising the energy of those around you. Finally, expressing gratitude daily can profoundly influence our energy by shifting our focus from lack to abundance and possibility. This change in mindset not only raises our energy levels but also attracts more positive experiences into our lives. Hermeticism is an esoteric tradition that originates from the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus, a legendary figure whose writings unite elements of ancient Egyptian, Greek, and mystical thought. This tradition encompasses a wide range of spiritual and philosophical teachings, many of which are based on the belief in the unity of the divine and material worlds. Hermeticism teaches that the universe operates according to hidden spiritual laws, which can be understood and applied by those who seek deeper knowledge. The core teachings of Hermeticism are often cloaked in allegory and symbolism, inviting students to uncover the deeper meanings behind the texts. Hermeticism has influenced many major religions and philosophies throughout the world, from early forms of Christianity and Gnosticism to the alchemy of the Renaissance and modern occultism. Its teachings on the unity of all things, the correspondence between macrocosm and microcosm, and the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment resonate across various mystical traditions. Historically, Hermeticism has maintained a tradition of secrecy, with its wisdom passed only to initiates who have undergone the necessary spiritual preparation. This aura of mystery has made it both fascinating and elusive to outsiders. The roots of Hermeticism reach deep into ancient Egypt, a civilization renowned for its profound spiritual and metaphysical insights. The Hermetic tradition mirrors many of the same themes found in Egyptian religion, particularly the emphasis on the relationship between the divine and material worlds. At the heart of Hermetic philosophy lie the 7 principles, often referred to as the magical key that unlocks the secrets of the universe. These principles provide a framework for understanding the natural and spiritual laws that govern reality. They serve as a guide for those walking the Hermetic path, helping practitioners align their inner world with the greater cosmos. Each principle offers insights into how both the mental and physical realms operate, bridging the gap between the visible and invisible, the known and the unknown. The 7 Hermetic Principles are described in the Kybalion, a text that distills the essence of Hermetic teachings into practical form. These principles are mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender. Each principle reveals a universal truth about the nature of existence and provides a key to unlock deeper levels of understanding. They are not meant to remain theoretical but to be applied in daily life to promote spiritual growth and mastery over one's own reality. Understanding and applying these principles is said to bring about a profound transformation of consciousness. Hermeticists believe that the study of these laws grants individuals the ability to master the forces that shape both life and the universe. These principles are regarded as tools for spiritual evolution, leading practitioners toward greater self-awareness and harmony with the cosmic order. Whether through meditation, contemplation, or ritual, the 7 Hermetic Principles serve as a roadmap for navigating both the spiritual and material realms. 1. The Principle of Mentalism. The first and most fundamental principle of Hermeticism is the principle of mentalism, which states, "The all is mind, the universe is mental." This teaching asserts that the universe and all its phenomena are manifestations of a greater, infinite mind. According to this principle, everything that exists, whether material or immaterial, emerges from a single, conscious source. This cosmic mind, often referred to as the All, is the origin of all creation and the ultimate reality behind the physical universe. Understanding this principle opens the door to the realization that reality itself is shaped by thought and consciousness. In practical terms, the principle of mentalism suggests that human consciousness plays a vital role in shaping both individual and collective experience. Thoughts are not merely passive events but powerful forces that influence both the inner and outer worlds. By mastering one's thoughts, an individual can shape their reality and align themselves with the greater spiritual forces of the universe. This concept parallels modern ideas in metaphysics and psychology, where the power of the mind is recognized as a tool for personal transformation and manifestation. 2. The Principle of Correspondence. The principle of correspondence is one of the most profound teachings of Hermeticism, summarized by the phrase, "as above, so below." This means that there is a deep connection between the various planes of reality, spiritual and physical, mental and material. What happens on one level is reflected in another, and understanding this relationship allows one to glimpse the universal patterns of existence. It implies that by observing the natural world around us, we can learn about the higher, unseen realms of being, and vice versa. This concept offers a powerful key to understanding the complex fabric of the universe. For example, the stars and planets in the macrocosm move according to certain laws, just as atoms and cells in our bodies follow similar principles in the microcosm. This reflection between the greater and lesser scales of existence reveals an underlying unity within the universe. Recognizing this truth allows us to see how everything is interconnected and how the dynamics within one part of life or the world often mirror something greater or more profound. It is a reminder that nothing truly exists in isolation, everything is part of a greater whole. When you apply the principle of correspondence in your life, you begin to realize that the inner and outer worlds are not separate. Your thoughts and emotions can influence your external reality, just as external events can shape your inner state. By mastering this principle, you can bring your inner world into harmony with the outer, achieving greater balance and understanding. This alignment opens doors to growth and transformation as you attune yourself to the universal patterns that govern all things. 3. The Principle of Vibration. The principle of vibration teaches that everything in the universe is in constant motion. From the smallest subatomic particles to the vast, swirling galaxies, nothing is ever truly at rest. This principle applies not only to the physical realm but also to the non-physical. Thoughts, emotions, and energies all vibrate at their own frequencies. Every object, every thought, and even every idea possesses its unique vibration. This constant motion keeps the universe dynamic and ever-changing, and understanding this principle helps you perceive life as a flow of energy rather than something fixed or static. On an atomic and subatomic level, everything vibrates, even if it appears solid and still to the naked eye. The higher the frequency of vibration, the more energy something holds. This principle is also reflected in the cosmos, where celestial bodies move in patterns that influence everything from the tides to human behavior. When you recognize that everything vibrates, you begin to understand how these frequencies interact and how they can subtly yet profoundly shape your life. 4. Principle of polarity. The principle of polarity teaches that everything in existence has its opposite. Everything we encounter in life exists in pairs, such as light and darkness, hot and cold, good and evil. However, the Hermetic teachings emphasize that these opposites are essentially the same and only differ in degree. For example, light and darkness are not fundamentally different things but simply varying degrees of the same phenomenon. This realization can help you view the world in a more nuanced way, where extremes are not necessarily opposites but points along the same spectrum. Understanding this principle can help you navigate life's challenges by showing you that opposites are connected and can be transformed. For example, a situation you perceive as negative might simply be one end of a spectrum that can shift toward positivity. By mastering the principle of polarity, you can learn to consciously change your perspective and move from one pole to another. This is particularly helpful in managing emotions, relationships, and personal growth, as it gives you control over how you respond to the dualities of life. 5. Principle of rhythm. The principle of rhythm teaches that everything in life flows in cycles. Just as tides rise and fall and seasons change, our experiences and emotions also move in patterns. Nothing remains the same forever. Understanding this principle helps you see the bigger picture when facing challenges or setbacks, reminding you that everything is temporary and will eventually move in the opposite direction. The pendulum of life swings back and forth, bringing highs and lows, success and failure, joy and sorrow. By recognizing this natural rhythm, you can learn to navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease. You will not be thrown off by the lows or cling too tightly to the highs, because you understand that both are part of a greater cycle. It's about finding balance and realizing that the universe balances every extreme. This concept is especially important in moments of struggle or hardship. When you realize that everything moves in cycles, it can bring a sense of peace. The pendulum will eventually swing back, and things will change. By mastering the principle of rhythm, you can learn to maintain inner peace even when the outer world seems chaotic. Instead of being tossed around by the natural rhythms of life, you can become more centered and grounded. 6. Principle of cause and effect. The principle of cause and effect reminds us that nothing in life happens by chance. Every action has a corresponding reaction, and everything we experience results from a cause, whether visible or invisible. This principle helps us understand that we are not victims of random events, rather, we are the creators of our own reality. By becoming more aware of the causes we set in motion through our thoughts, actions, and decisions, we can begin to influence the outcomes we desire. For you, the reader, this principle offers immense power. If you've ever felt like life just happens to you, the principle of cause and effect encourages you to change that mindset. Instead of merely reacting to circumstances, you can take control by becoming the cause of your own life. When you set clear intentions, make conscious choices, and take action, you create causes that lead to specific effects. This means you can deliberately shape the life you wish to live, rather than being a passive product of external forces. 7. Principle of gender. The principle of gender states that masculine and feminine energies exist within all things, including ourselves. This is not about physical gender but about energetic qualities that influence creation and balance. Masculine energy is assertive, driving, and action-oriented, while feminine energy is receptive, nurturing, and intuitive. Both are necessary for balance and harmony, whether in the natural world, relationships, or within our own being. Carl Jung's theory of anima and animus directly reflects this principle. According to Jung, each of us carries both masculine and feminine qualities. The anima represents the feminine aspect within a man, while the animus represents the masculine aspect within a woman. By recognizing and integrating both energies, we achieve psychological balance and wholeness. This integration allows for greater creativity, emotional depth, and spiritual understanding. It is not about valuing one energy over the other but about honoring and balancing both within ourselves. As you explore this principle in your life, you may notice where you rely more heavily on one energy than the other. If you are constantly in doing mode, pushing yourself to achieve goals, it may be a sign to connect more with your receptive, feminine side. Likewise, if you find yourself stuck in indecision or overthinking, it might be time to activate your assertive, masculine energy to move forward. Mastering the Hermetic teachings means not just understanding these principles intellectually but also living them practically. It's the difference between a swimmer and a log in the water. A log drifts wherever the current carries it, completely at the mercy of external forces. A swimmer, however, can navigate the currents, move in harmony with the water, and still maintain control over their direction. When you integrate these principles into your life, you become like the swimmer. You learn to work with the universal laws instead of being their victim. Rather than being swept away by the rhythms of life, you learn to ride them with intention and skill. Mastery comes from aligning yourself with these natural laws, so you no longer struggle against them or feel overpowered by them. It's not about avoiding challenges but learning to face them with grace and understanding. You begin to see obstacles as opportunities for growth, setbacks as part of the rhythm, and challenges as causes leading to powerful effects. By mastering these teachings, you become a co-creator with the universe, consciously shaping your reality in harmony with the natural laws. In summary, the Hermetic principles offer profound wisdom that remains just as relevant today as in ancient times. These universal laws govern every aspect of our lives, from the rhythm of our emotions to the cause and effect dynamics of our choices. By understanding and applying these principles, you can gain greater control over your life, harmonize with the natural flow of the universe, and unlock your potential for growth and transformation. In closing, I encourage you to take these teachings and explore how they apply to your own life. Each principle offers a unique key to understanding the world around you and within you. The more you align yourself with these laws, the more you empower yourself to create the life you desire. So take the next step. Dive deeper into Hermetic wisdom and begin applying these timeless truths in your everyday life.